there are demonstrations. Tunisia is on the continent of Africa. It's North Africa. There are demonstrations at government agencies against immigration, against foreigners. In Ireland, they are burning the street. They are burning buildings. They are revolting. They are literally, it's riot, it is chaos in Ireland. And they're doing this on the backside, yes, of an attempted murder. But they have turned that into a riot against foreigners. And this has been going on for days and days and days. In the UK, since 2024, beyond 2024, but it ramped up in 24, 25 it became worse. They have been leading massive demonstrations. You can't turn on the radio, the television, or even go on social media. UK, what's coming out of the UK is anti-immigrant. They're literally, the other day they were burning the streets. Just a few months ago in the UK, they were burning in the streets. They were attacking people on the road. They were rioting against foreigners. And they are doing that to this day. Maybe not the burning so much in England, but definitely the rhetoric. And just listen to Prime Minister's Question Time. Listen to Kemi Badenoch, for example. And just have a look at what's happening generally across the world. The UK, and if you're watching thank you so much for finding that story there and putting that up for us, Peter, because this is good. What does it say? It says 8 arrests. This is where. Go down. Let me see the headline again, Peter. Okay. Oh, you're gone up. All right. So basically, across the world, there is, over the last 3 years, a ramping up of anti-immigrant protests and violence in Europe, on the continent of Africa. In the United States, they have gone beyond that because they have written something called Project 2025. And they have unleashed Project 2025. And written within the U.S. policy right now is an anti-immigrant, anti-foreigner policy that is phenomenal, even to the extent that we see that now impacting the World Cup, where Omar Aitan, for example, of Somalia has been turned back, where we're hearing that Ghanaians have been turned back, where coaches have been turned back. And this morning I'm reading that Canada has now joined that, where they have turned back a Ghanaian player. You know, so the anti-immigrant sentiment, the demonstrations and the protests and the killings, that's happening across the world. The same players are behind it. Do not be deceived. The very same players are behind these global anti-immigrant protests that we're seeing across the world. The very same few white supremacists are behind it. Now listen. The Daily Mail, which I don't like to quote in this forum, they've got a lead story that they've been holding as a lead story from yesterday, and even this morning I woke up, I saw that. I'm not quite sure if it is still there, where they are showing that they are members of a political party, can't remember which one, but that they are attending white supremacist events. These white supremacist events are based in anti-foreigner sentiments, anti-immigrant sentiments. But how the media works, and I don't have enough time to talk about it, but I'm going to say something. We have to understand how media works, right? Media works in this way. Those who own the media control the narrative. Those who control the narrative control the action, control how people think, control what you see, what you hear, and what you think, and hence your behavior and your responses to things. You have to be very careful when you are consuming media, and this is why we talk about media literacy, understanding the power behind media. The power behind media is simple. It is who owns the media, who own the media. Now, global media is owned by about 4 people, and the largest owner is a Murdoch empire, Rupert Murdoch, who is out of Australia, but owns, I think that the series Succession is loosely based on his life. So the Murdoch empire owns most of the media, global media that you consume. And I don't even know why I'm gone off on a tangent. I promise you that I'll come back to talk about media ownership, because I want to just make a statement about South Africa. What media is doing, led by the very same white supremacists in the background, is about to take over spaces and places. That's media ownership. You think politics is the only thing that is ensuring that places and spaces are taken over? No, it is a conglomerate that includes the media, a cabal that includes the media. So we have, there is a takeover of South Africa that is underway. South Africa is going back apartheid. We can stop it, but we're not about to stop it, because there's something that Africa is doing. Africa and African people have bought into the media and the white supremacists and the globalists and the technocrats' plan to separate South Africa from the rest of the continent of Africa. But first, they have to drive out all other Africans, continental Africans from South Africa. They are succeeding in that. Ghana take out 300, this one take out 200, that one take out 500. And they're doing it because the media is telling you that something is happening in South Africa called xenophobia. What did we say the meaning of xenophobia is? What is the meaning of xenophobia? Look it up, man. What's the meaning of xenophobia? It is ultimately a fear of foreigners. But only when that fear, or what appears to be that fear, appears in South Africa, does it become xenophobia. What Donald Trump is doing is not a fear of foreigners, is it? Is it? What is happening in the UK, that's not a fear of foreigners, is it? If you ask me right now to be honest about which country is showing the most vitriolic, the most sustained, the cruelest form of a fear of foreigners, which is xenophobia, I can answer you. It is the UK. And right after that, it is the US. And long before you reach South Africa, it is France and the European Union. You saw what happened in France just a few years ago. We covered it. How many coming through Morocco were slaughtered? That wasn't covered as xenophobia. The media is very good at controlling what you see, what you say, and what you think. So I put it to you, there is no xenophobia in South Africa. What is happening in South Africa? Yes, there is a situation that is bought and paid for, and it's a pity that black people are doing this to themselves again. Being paid to cause disruption. It happened in Jamaica, you know. You think it remember the Manley regime, you know, it was a regime, but in the Manley government. Remember in the Manley time that African people, black Jamaican people, turned against Michael Manley, and they were whispering in their houses and whispering on their verandas about how they would not vote again for him because he's communist. This is the same thing that's happening in South Africa at scale, right? So what we have is nothing called no xenophobia. It is something that the very same actors, we know who they are, you know. Listen, we know the people behind the xenophobia in South Africa, the xenophobia in the UK, the xenophobia in Ireland, and I know I said the UK, but I'm going to say Ireland, the xenophobia in England, the xenophobia in the United States, behind the President of the United States. If you can find the globalists behind the President of the United States, who run on a platform, I know I have to go. I know I have to go. You see, me just, I cut me 10 for come talk, you know, literally, me cut, you know, for say. But the bottom line is, the globalists are winning. They have decided to annex South Africa from black people and make it an apartheid state again, and black people have bought into that. Look what they did with that match between Mexico and South Africa. I want to talk about that, Let me take a break. I don't have a time today. I know that. But I need to put that out there. And if I can't do it today, I'll do it tomorrow. But as you go through this week, please be reminded that they want us to hate South Africans. They want us to hate them. And they want us to curse South Africa. They wanted South Africa to be isolated. And they want the rest of the African diaspora to be in on that. And they control the media. So they're ensuring that this is where we're going. Stop the foolishness in the name of the ancestors. Stop the foolishness. Let me take a break. Our very special guest, our first guest this morning, my colleague, my brother, and my friend is Roger Hasfall. And I think Roger is ready and waiting on Zoom. He's not in studio, but I think we've got him on Zoom. Morning, Roger. Are you there? All right, so we're going to be talking to Roger in a little while about what's happening in the World Cup. But specifically, we're going to be looking at the African teams in the World Cup right now. But what a time, because FIFA World Cup, as you know, it kicked off last Thursday, June 11. And it really is a metaphorical mirror for the chaos that is happening in the world right now. And on the backside and within the confusion of World War III, it is playing out as part of the chaos itself. And Gianni Infantino, who is the head of FIFA, president of FIFA, is an interesting character. We spoke about him a few months ago actually, because he had gone to Mar-a-Lago. And there was a big party at Mar-a-Lago that Infantino attended, that as FIFA president, with Donald Trump's sons, and so many of the MAGA technocracy crew. And it was an investment seminar of sort, function of sort. And they created a whole financial system in Mar-a-Lago. And FIFA was a part of that. But interestingly, Gianni Infantino was a part of that. And we said at the time that is the kind of conflict of interest that at some point FIFA is going to have to answer to its relationship with MAGA, not with the Republican Party generally speaking, but with MAGA, and also with the Trump faction, Donald Trump and his sons and so on. And then he's going to probably, I think at some point, has to answer for his presence at that event at Mar-a-Lago. But anyway, I think we're joined by Roger Hasfall. Hey Raj, I'm seeing you. Morning, how you doing?
Morning, good morning, Kabu. Good morning, everyone.
Right, thank you for getting up. I see you in your colors, man. Look at you. It looks if I'm not, is that Brazil? That's Brazil, isn't it? But
no, not at
Brazil?
all.
Oh, really?
This is actually, I am not one of those fanatics. During World Cup time, I like to wear my own national colors. You understand? Although I am a supporter of a particular team from my boy.
Mm-hmm. Which team is that? You can't say which team is that? I say it for the
I always loved how Argentina plays football, especially from Diego Maradona days, from my boy, so I just love how them play football.
Now that we understand the politics.
Yeah, well, I am not even going down there because I know people have them issues with Argentina and their ethnic cleansing with black people down there and so. But when it comes to football, it's football me love to watch. You understand?
But Roger, on that point, and this is a very good point. So you're saying that you wear your Jamaica colors. So this is Jamaica I'm looking at, but that the color not the Jamaica flag we have on. So Brazil that.
No.
The Jamaica flag. Which gold? A yellow. Which gold? Don't give me a breakboard gold. But anyway, welcome. Jamaica,
man. Good to be here.
Yes.
And of course, we always have our sentimental attachments to our motherland, Africa.
Of course.
Yeah, understand.
Of course.
And, I went from Cameroon days, when Cameroon made their debut in 1982 and how they performed well. Yes. 1990 as well. Roger Miller and coming down the line, you know. They are not here this year, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 10 African teams.
Wow,
you know.
and that's a record. They keep telling us that's a record.
Yes, 10 of them.
But before we go to the African teams, last night, quickly, especially the IT Scotland match. I know that coming on. I didn't watch it, right? Because I had to be up early this morning. But just looking on social media this morning, there seemed to be a lot of angst. People are saying that there was bad refereeing, and IT was there were clear times when there should have been a penalty or stuff like that. I don't know if you saw it, and if you can tell us what happened, why people so angry this morning.
I actually didn't see it, you know, but based on the reports that I heard that Scotland, they got away with a lot. And you know, Haiti, they showed a lot of fight as well, you know, and irrespective of that fight, I mean, they ended up losing the same way. But, you know, we expect that the smaller nations will get these decisions against them. That has always happened. You know,
I heard that it was blatant. Maybe when you look back at it, we'll talk again, because I heard it was blatant, and I saw a clip. So there's a clip of one of the players, the Asian players, being literally dragged, held on to, held back, literally. His hands, you know, it to me, I mean, that's, and you know, I'm a Wagonist in this space. You know, so even for us Waganists, you know, we take them things very hard, and especially when it's IT, because, well, anyway. So we saw that. There's a whole lot with the football, and a lot of it with the World Cup, and a lot of it has impacted the African teams. So let us start there. First of all, look at the teams and give me an idea, Roger, of your own thinking in terms of how they are impacted politically, first of all, in terms of the immigration issues and any other issues that are out there before we talk about their...
Well, we have seen the continuous hatred, racism, xenophobia, ethnic hatred against black people, and it is so evident before the World Cup, and you know, even during this World Cup, we are seeing, you know, where Canada have refused our party's entry because the party he's supposed to go to court because of some rape allegations against him.
And these are allegations, and let us say these are allegations.
Right. And he has denied, and we have seen it before where African players who come to England, these things blow up against them, and then they are found not guilty, and them whole career mash up, and this could be a similar case again. But Canada has denied him entry, you know, and before that, a man from the Somali referee, who was Africa's top referee, the top referee in Africa from Somalia. He was fly all the way across the Atlantic, stop in in Miami, deny him entry, send him back, you know.
Send him to Turkey. Turkey.
Yes. Right.
And now they're telling us about he's with UEFA. I mean,
Senegal, when they entered into the States, as they step off the plane, them have them canine dogs and them search them. It's such a disgrace. Last World Cup in Qatar, somebody showed the difference between what happened in Qatar and what happened in the New. When teams were welcome in Qatar, including the United States, they got red carpet as them come off of the plane. I mean, luxury buses meet them. I mean,
but the xenophobia against African teams in the US and and Canada, it's overwhelming. Hang on there, Roger. Let me take a quick break.
Pay Uncle $1 down per 18 to 48 months credit over Lucky Dollar for furniture, appliance, and smart TVs.
Yeah, and you know, the treatment of African teams by the United States, by Canada, and by FIFA, because FIFA has been wishy-washy.
They are complicit. They are complicit.
Yeah.
They are complicit. And it's such a shame. And I can tell you, you know, that this current FIFA president, you know, Mark my word, today. You seen another, you remember that big FIFA scandal a couple of years ago?
Yes.
That brought down people like Warner and Sepp Blatter and Chuck Blazer. We could see something worse happening with this, FIFA, leadership in a couple of years.
Every time I put in his name in like I'm typing his name for any reason, but I'm texting, or the autocorrect changes it to infanticide, and I just leave it.
Yes.
This is just an aside, but I'm marking your words, Roger, the point you make just now about FIFA. A question then, that I need to ask you, Roger, is with all of that happening, record 10 African teams, and we're looking at what it's called the Global South, which includes so much more than just African countries. Wouldn't it make sense at some point, and I suppose it's a conversation to be had on the backside of this, for this Asia, Africa, the same BRICS of amalgamation, to have its own World Cup, and not just its own World Cup, but to have a governing body that develop their own governing body and exhort FIFA out of this? Why is it so difficult to kick FIFA aside when they are, these countries are more than Europe and the United States? Because FIFA is really Europe and the United States in terms of their governance and their management of in the interest of Europe and the United States, and not necessarily the so-called Global South.
It could happen. However, to break away from FIFA at this stage is almost difficult in terms of if you want to be recognized as a global, participant in football. However, we have seen, competitions, events that have broken away, but them call them rebel and these kind of things.
But let the rebel in you touch a rebel in me.
It can happen, but
it's difficult. I hear the point you're making. We
just never know that in the future, maybe
And Roger, I'm talking about the future.
These things will have to happen.
Roger, I'm talking about the future, and I'm not talking about right now, because obviously after what we've seen right now, because alright, so FIFA has come under a lot of pressure over the years from the scandal. They bounced back from the scandal, but would you, because you've been watching World Cup, would you, and not just World Cup, but FIFA generally, would you say that this is a defining moment for FIFA in terms of its relationship, its ongoing relationship with other countries from Asia, Africa, Latin America, non-European countries, which are more than Europe and the United States?
It should have been a defining moment in a good way, based on, the way how FIFA has evolved since the scandal. But what we have seen now is that they are so complicit in terms of what is happening. The defining moment has gone south, has gone negative, in the negative. And it's so hard for them. Of course, people love football, World Cup time, and the excitement, everybody are going on, support, and then, because the actual World Cup is happening now, but there's a bitter taste that is in people's mouth right now regarding how FIFA and the United States have treated this World Cup. And I don't know, but there's a lot of soul searching that will be needed after this World Cup as to how who they award, to host World Cups such as this, because based on we have seen it happening, over the past couple of years, where it was a mistake to have brought the World Cup to the United States. It was a mistake based on everything that we have seen. Now, of course, every country have their own immigration laws and stuff like that. But with a country like the United States that is so stringent, especially against a particular set of people.
Racist. It's racism and xenophobia.
Yes. It has been such a disgrace.
FIFA is compromised, though. Highly compromised.
And it's historic, It's historic, because remember, there was a time when no black country even in Africa that could have played in FIFA tournaments.
Right.
You know, I mean, it was the Egypts and South Africas that were allowed to play at the World Cup first, in the first. And we're not talking about the black side of these.
Right, not sub-Saharan, but North African, Arab, dominant. But people like, Kwame Nkrumah, Sergeant for Kwame Nkrumah and others, the stance that they took in that time was that it was a united front, which is to say all African countries, along with Europe, with Asia, said no. And so there was a stance. Whereas
don't leave out Haile Selassie, you know, he was very important into calling that, you know.
Okay, the emperor, of course, yes. Well, there you go. Yes. And so that, and so there was a stance, a unified stance against it. But what do we have in this one? We have the world and the continental Africa, cheering for Mexico against South Africa because you've set up to do that. And we also have, Omar Atan, who is, deported from the U.S., kicked out of the U.S. to Turkey. But all referees go on to play. To go on without saying, as referees, we will, if he is not allowed in, we will not work.
Yeah. Yes. And I remember, you know, this young man was talking about is the number one referee in Africa, you know. The number one referee. He was voted the referee of the year in all of Africa last year.
And this is why I asked you if this is, and you did answer. You said it's a defining moment in a negative way for FIFA, because I think no more than ever when FIFA is like the United Nations. Isn't it a part of you remember that we've been talking about the rules-based order, right? And, Mark Carney, who went to Davos and said that we're seeing a rupturing of the rules-based order, and we look at institutions and organizations that are failing magnificently because they're now showing that they're part of the Epstein class. They cannot say no to whatever is happening with the Epstein class. And we've been looking at the institutions like the UN, the Africa Union, the World Health Organization, the FAO. We're looking at that, but we never looked at FIFA. But FIFA is also part of this Epstein class, which is, to what extent do you think, Roger, that FIFA, is part of the Epstein class, but also is part of this rupturing of the rules-based order that Mark Carney referred to at Davos?
And it, you know, based on what happened in FIFA a couple of years ago, we all thought that they would have moved away from that, whether it's perceived or not. We all thought that it would have been moving away in a direction that, because remember, you know, FIFA, they have this stance about no against racism. They have banners all over the place.
The thing with them say, cross your hand like this,
Yes, but it's just talk. It's just talk. It's just put that in the front to make it look like said they are doing, but they are doing absolutely nothing. So of course, them complicit with all the way just say a while ago.
Is it Epstein class? Is it Epstein class? Roger, you and I have been looking at this, you know, and this whole Epstein thing, you know, and I think both of us had to literally just ease it off for the sake of our
I know some are really ease it off. I mean, it you know, ease it off like that, you know, because make it stay this.
Make it stay. I understand. I understand what you mean because you know, I think it's the same for me, but publicly we haven't been commenting on it a whole lot. All right, so there is that, Roger. But and then to one other thing on FIFA is that what happened with IT also with the jerseys, with the jersey 3 days before the World Cup.
Yeah, well, this year as well is also I think the 220th or 22nd anniversary of the Haitian Revolution that brought them, you know, independence, becoming the first black independent country. And they had a symbol, a symbol, not even that big, but, you know, just in celebration of that. FIFA is saying it is political and it goes against their policies and, you know, and stuff like that, you know. In
other words, your independence, a symbol, an image depicting your independence.
Right.
The fight for independence. FIFA said to them, you can't. This is coming from the US, you know. This is a request. I guarantee you. I bet you anything this is a request from the United States. And this is why
So
we
what
know it's
happened?
Epstein class.
Yeah, right. Definitely. I am not. I would not be surprised if that is absolutely the case, because remember, he just come full circle, turn against Haiti again, because what Haiti did then to become the first black independent country of the world, they are suffering for it up to this day.
Up to this day,
And
up to last night.
This is just another chapter in that.
Well, I'm proud to see that I'm accidentally wearing my Asian colors. I'm just looking at the screen when you put up the when you put up the images there, the content there, Peter. I recognize that I'm in my blue and red. Well, welcome. All right, but Roger, because we have just.
But I'm wondering, quickly. I'm wondering if this was a logo of Haiti, because this could easily be a logo of Haiti, similar to our coat of arms or something like that. I'm wondering how
it represents the very last battle in the fight for independence. That's it depicts the scene of the very last battle. Like how we just say, anyway, let me leave that little. Roger, because we have just a few minutes. Let us quickly look at it. I'm giving you the 3 minutes quickly. Take me through the teams, the African teams.
All right, so we have 10 African teams, 2 played already, 1 playing today. We're talking about South Africa, Morocco, a debutant, Cape Verde. We're talking about countries like Algeria, DR Congo, Egypt, Ghana, Ivory Coast,
Senegal,
and Tunisia. Those are the teams.
You hear the noise. You hear the noise in the background. This Peter when they said Ivory Coast in there, but boop boop. Look here. But anyway, we respect that he's carrying Ivory Coast to the end.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, Ivory Coast. Speaking about them, they are possibly one of the dark horses this year in a serious way. They have a number of players at the peak of their game, all playing in Europe, and they had a wonderful result against France in their final warm-up game, leading into the World Cup. They also have the youngest on average team this year, 25 years at 310. So they are very ripe in terms of, energy and stuff like that. They have the Bundesliga Rookie of the Year.
Because we're on YouTube, so for those persons who are listening on the 107s and you're not shifting to YouTube, you can do that. You can check us out on YouTube to see what's happening here. I'm not quite sure if we have both of you, because I'm only seeing one. Do we have? No? All right. So let me start then by looking at just a background into what has led us here when we talk about Africa Town. And we're going to start with the bet, if you will, because this is an interesting situation that in 1860, an enslaver, a white racist enslaver, made a bet. And that was after slavery or the trade for the United States at least, had ended the trade in enslaved Africans, that he made a bet that he could carry from Africa a shipload of enslaved Africans, a slaver. Talk us through that, please.
Oh, you're asking me?
Yes, we want to start there.
Okay, yes. Yes, they made a bet that they could go to Africa and purchase Africans. This is after the slave trade ended. So they made a bet amongst themselves. They got a ship's captain and a ship to make the journey, and actually went to Benin and tried to purchase, I think, about 130. But the British naval vessels are on patrol, so they actually only got 110 and made a hasty retreat back to the U.S. In entering the U.S. waters, they encountered the U.S. naval forces, because it was an international, slavery was abolished. So they actually evaded the U.S. naval ships and entered the Mobile River and actually took off the cargo, for lack of a better term.
Talking about Africans, right? 110 Africans.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually they burnt the ship in the river, and they divided the cargo, the enslaved persons, or the kidnapped persons, actually, amongst themselves. 30 of those persons, 30 or 33 of those persons went to Mayer, who was the instigator of the adventure. And so they were enslaved on his plantation for about 5 years until after the Civil War. I think the slavery was abolished in the U.S. And in the South, as you know, it was delayed in terms of information getting to the person. This is how you get the Juneteenth holiday celebration. And so they were enslaved for 5 years on Mayer's plantation.
You know, come on, my brother. One of the things that I've been doing, and I tend to do this looking at events as they unfold globally, over the years. And for our listeners to understand this, because when I said this to my daughter, it really sunk in for her, and she is doing A-levels now, that basically the time frame we're looking at when all of this unfolded, 1860, we're talking about 5 years before the Morant Bay War or the Morant Bay Rebellion here in Jamaica. And that is to put it in context for our listeners to understand the time we're thinking
2019.
About. All right. Also, I know you have, is it a very short clip, Peter, that you have there, or a longer one? Because we could give, while we wait for, because I'm not seeing Chief Petty Officer Jason Lewis. Chief Lewis is not on yet, right? I'm not quite sure what's happening tomorrow, but Chief Lewis is not on yet. Yeah. It's 3 minutes? All right. Can I just do this? Come on, so our listeners get a better idea of, and you did very well in telling us what it is. But there's also a video footage, a 3-minute clip that was sent to me by Chief Lewis. So let us have a quick look at this so our listeners understand what it is that we're talking about. The Clotilda, the ship, was the slaver that Mayer sent to Dahomey, the kingdom of Dahomey at the time, which is now Benin. And he made a bet. He made a bet in 1860 that he could still go into Africa and kidnap Africans and take them into the U.S. and enslave them. Listen to this. For those who are on YouTube and Facebook, Instagram, you can watch. Go ahead, Peter.
In 2019, researchers confirmed cotton producers in the nation.
In 1865, at the climax of the Civil War, the survivors of the Clotilda were emancipated.
The formerly enslaved Africans that Mayer had brought illegally to Alabama couldn't afford passage back home. Instead, they worked tirelessly on plantations to purchase land on which they would build Africatown, the place they now called home. Long thought to be the stuff of legend, the discovery and authentication of the Clotilda has renewed the determination of current Africatown residents to preserve the memory of their ancestors carried to this country on the ship who created the town they still call home.
All right, let me take a quick break and we come right back.
And in Africa, Yenya Chrono.
7:20, and we're back with you inside of the Africa Forum. This is Running African. All right, we have online my brother Kamau Kambui, registered architect, with over, okay, so that's me, no? With over, we're trying to fix this. I'm not quite sure why we're getting this disturbance. But all right, a registered architect with over 36 years of experience in Jamaica, Guyana, and the United States. As I said before, no stranger to the Africa Forum, because you recall that a few years ago, there was a competition for a monument for Africatown, or a design of Africatown. And our brother Kamau, his architectural design was placed third. It was the best, but it was placed third. We thought it was really, really, really good. And so there has been, over that time, all kinds of development, because you heard and saw in the clip just now, what's happening in Africa Town now. So let me ask you, Kamau, because we still haven't linked with our Chief Petty Officer, who is Jason Lewis, who is doing great work in Africa Town, I know. So what can you tell us about Africa Town today? Because here you had 110 Africans kidnapped, taken to the United States. I think we might have Chief Petty Officer Chief Jason Lewis on. Chief Lewis, are you there? No. All right. What can you tell us about Africa Town today, my brother Kamau? What's happening in Africa Town today?
Well, Africa Town, actually, there's a resurgence to try and redevelop the community because it was a vibrant town. Kojo Lewis had actually bought land from Maher to build a town for themselves, which they did, and it was a very thriving town until industry actually affected it, train lines, factories, and so it has impacted the health of the residents. And so a lot of persons actually left the community. Mm-hmm. But there's still a diehard set of persons who actually hold true to the Africa Town. Mm-hmm. And so 3 years ago, they actually had a competition to for persons to envision what a redeveloped Africa Town could be like. And that is how I became involved, because there was a competition that was put out. Yeah. And I...
Yes, go ahead, Kamau. There's a disturbance on the line. Not quite sure where it's coming from, but I'm hearing you.
All right. So basically, it's a very large project, competition, and it was 4 parts, and each part actually had 4 subparts. And I only discovered the competition 2 months before. It's been out like 2 years before. And so we only had 2 months to prepare. Mm-hmm. And so we submitted. And fortunately, we gained 3rd place in a particular section of the that.
Imagine.
And so that was part of the wider plan that the authorities had for the redevelopment of Africa Town, because as you said, a booming what our ancestors did, who were on the Clotilda, and we must remember the name of that slaver that was burnt. What they did once in 1865 was to buy land back from the enslavers, because they wouldn't even give them land. They had to purchase land back from the enslavers and to develop that land into a booming, thriving town that they called Africa Town. But over time, it fell into disrepair. And it's interesting because the story of, you mentioned Kojo Lewis, the stories of the 110 who were kidnapped, well documented, very well documented. So there's a lot that is known. And now there is a plan to develop. How far are they with that development process in terms of where Africa Town is going? And what is your own personal involvement in that?
Okay. Well, I must tell you that the actual ship, the remnants of the ship was actually discovered about 4 years ago, which is what really gave power to this whole idea of redeveloping Africa Town. So the parts of the ship are actually in a museum, a welcome center that was built. And that's in the middle of Africa Town. And so what the idea is for other development projects to actually come on board to redevelop and revitalize that area.
Yeah.
There are issues, as I said, there are environmental issues in terms of toxic material that are shipped by train to the ports. But they're actually strong about redeveloping. My involvement with Jason Lewis, I met him when we went to the award show in Mobile, and yes, so we kind of connected, and he gave me a personal tour, because he has a company in Mobile, a tour company for Africa Town, right? And so he showed me, and it was really, really great, and we developed a friendship from that. And he personally has plans to develop 2 properties in Africa Town, and which I did for him. We developed his concept, his ideas to develop one. It's a memory of the Homie, Warriors of the Homie, where he celebrates the Haitian Revolution, the Maroons in Jamaica, and all of that. And then the other one is Gardens of Africa. And so that's how he personally plans to spearhead that revitalization.
We'd like to talk to him about that. And I know that we're trying to get him. Peter, what can you tell us what's happening? We're not getting through. All right. So we're trying to, even if we don't get him today, we'll definitely, because I have been communicating with him, and you know that he committed to be on, and we've been in constant communication up to this point. So I'm not quite sure what is happening, but we'll definitely get him, if not today, then in very short order. But come on, I mean, you have done enough work within your own personal perspective and as an architect in Africa Town, and just looking at it, because you were the one, and I need our listeners to understand this, that we didn't know about Africa Town until you reached out to me. And when was it? 2-3 years ago? 4 years ago?
Yes.
That you reached out and told me about Africa Town, and also about the Clotilda. And it's interesting because over that time, our knowledge of the Clotilda, our knowledge of Africa Town, which you pointed us to, it's phenomenal in terms of what we've learned and what we can learn from that going forward. But also the amount of information that we have from Africans, continental Africans, who were kidnapped, taken into the United States, and thanks to books from Zora Neale Hurston and from others who have written about the 110 Africans, but also not just written about them, but had conversations with them. What can you tell us about the Africans themselves who built Africa Town, in terms of when they transitioned, when they died? Who are some of the ones that are widely written about? What do we know about Cudjoe Lewis, for example?
Well, Cudjoe Lewis is the person that Zara Hurston actually interviewed while she was at Howard University back in the day. So that is a book that actually was the nucleus of the whole story of Africa Town. So Cudjoe Lewis actually, when he was kidnapped, he was a teenager. So he lived to be quite, I think he died
in his 90s or something. Yeah. He lived a long time, yes.
And they,
look it up.
Not sure if it's the 30s or 40s, but he was interviewed by Zara.
Yes.
Hurston. So his his life in the home is actually what spurred on the sole interest.
And by the way, let me just interrupt a minute. The book is Zora Neale Hurston's book is
kidnapped, and about the journey across.
Yes, yeah. And there's also another book called Barracoon, isn't it? Barracoon. But go on.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm seeing the date here.
They have, Chief and I have spoken, and I've actually tried to make a connection between the Maroon Jamaica.
I think we're having a little issue. Don't go though. Don't go. Let me just take a.
Sure
yeah, you just froze. But
okay, it's breaking up.
Yeah, so hang on there. Don't go. I have to take a break. Let's try and fix this in the break. We'll be right back. Where enslavers made a bet that they could go into Africa. Mayer was his name, and he was in the lumber business. He made a bet that they could go into Africa, and they could, after slavery was abolished, that they could still go in, kidnap Africans, take them into the United States and enslave them. And he was a shipbuilder and a lumber person, mayor. As a matter of fact, even today, his name is, if you Google his name, is one of the billionaires, the multimillionaires, billionaires in Alabama. They still own massive swathes of land. It's one of those families, great families out of Alabama, and great in quotations. And so they made that bet, and he got a captain, Foster, who sailed into Dahomey, the kingdom of Dahomey, which is today known as Benin. And they kidnapped 110 Africans and took them on that journey in that small slaver and brought them into Mobile, Alabama. They burnt the ship and sunk it because what they did was illegal, and they recognized that the feds were upon them. They burnt the ship and they sunk it in Mobile, Alabama. And what's interesting about this is that, for example, let me tell you quickly the ship's name, because we must remember this. The name of the ship was a Clotilda, and they sunk it. But a few years ago, divers, and it was a journalist, and this is why journalism must not be subjected to just talking in a microphone, reading the news and reporting the news. We have to be advocate journalists, activist journalists, and any radical journalists. Journalism has to be more, because we're living in a time when if we do not become more than we currently are, we participate in our own enslavement. So the journalist must begin to see him and herself as more than just a regurgitator of the opinions and the alternative facts of politicians and private sector people. And this is why we're going to spend some time talking about that another time. But it's a journalist who initially found the remains of the Clotilda. Lots of information on the Clotilda. And as a result of the finding of the ship, the slaver, the story began to unfold again. The work of Zora Neale Hurston is phenomenal. You get a book called Barracoon. And as a matter of fact, just look up Zora Neale Hurston. And if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook right now, you'll see Kojo Lewis on the screen, because she interviewed him. He died in 1935, was enslaved in Alabama. The thing is, we've lost for a minute. We've lost our guests, right? And we're trying to get back. Kamau, we're trying to get you back online, and we are not able to get to Chief Petty Officer Jason Lewis. And you hear his name, Lewis, right? Because he's a descendant of Kojo Lewis. And one of the things that is important for us to remember is that so many of the descendants of the 110 are alive today. They have claimed, they're calling it reconciliation. They are making a point not to say reparations, because in the United States, reparations come with so much angst and so much politicking around it that they and so much that people are immediately against and afraid to deal with. So they're talking about reconciliation. If you saw, and you can Google this, Anderson Cooper, he did a whole series with the two families meeting, because for years, the families of the enslaver, Mayor, refused to meet with the descendants of the enslaved who were stolen. We do have Kamau back. All right, who was stolen from Africa. So if you go and Google Anderson Cooper's 60 Minutes on Clotilda, there's a whole lot of information there, because you'll see that painful sit down where Anderson Cooper, as a mediator, for 2 hours, he said they sat down, and the families of Mayor, the enslaver, and the families, the descendants of the 110 beautiful souls who were kidnapped from the continent of Africa. That was a conversation, and it's a discussion that you should go and see. I think we have Kamau back. Kamau, you're back with us. I'm seeing you live and in living color. Are you hearing me? All right, are you on mute? I think we might have muted you. So we're working tirelessly behind the scenes, Kamal, just so you know, to get things working this morning. It's a very interesting situation unfolding in the studio, and it's been happening a few Sunday mornings in recent times. But we're fixing it. I think I'm hearing you now, Kamal. Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you, but I'm not sure if you're hearing me.
I'm hearing you loud and clear. The time is going, but you should see the amount of texts and messages that are coming in. And you remember that you and I, we've had this conversation before. We've spent months talking about this, but there's so many people are hearing it for the very first times, and that's quite all right. So where Africa Town stands now, you talk about being taken on a tour. Remind us of what the tour entailed, what the entire place looked like. And the last thing you said to us was that there is a plan to make a connection with the Maroons of Jamaica, and I'm not quite sure the story behind that, so you can also tell us a little bit more about that.
Right. Well, Jason is very familiar with the story, the Maroons, being a military person, because I didn't know this. But the Maroons military strategy is what is used in warfare in terms of camouflage, the whole camouflage aspect. When you go to a compound, you see them with the green plants or over their head. That is what informed modern warfare in terms of stealth. So the Maroons have played a very important part. I guess the same thing with the Haitians. Mm-hmm. But Chief Jason is very much interested in making a connection. But what I did for him is that he had 2 properties in that community. And I developed a concept to commemorate the whole history and the connection to Africa and Benin in particular. So the home, one project is in honor of the warriors of the Homie, which actually celebrates the history of Haiti and the Maroons, the struggle, the fight against the British in Jamaica. Yeah. So these 2 properties are planned to attract tourism and also to provide accommodation, because when I went to Mobile, I was trying to find the Airbnb in Africa Town and couldn't. I had to stay outside and then travel in. Yeah. So the concept also includes accommodation, so persons could actually stay at these properties and actually, experience life in Africa Town.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what the time span is in terms of when Africa Town is expected to be ready for this level of heritage tourism?
Well, based on the current climate, I'm not sure how far ahead that is, but I know Jason is actually in the process of fundraising for his project. But he has told me that other aspects of the proposal have been put in place. Like there's a welcome center, I believe, that was built where they have portions of the Clotilda, remains of the Clotilda on exhibition. So that will be the nucleus and everything will be built around that. I actually also visited the church that Kojo actually built. It's not the original church, but I actually visited and spoke with the individuals there. So it reminded me very much of my experience in a compound. Right, they're very proud of their community. Yes, and it's just listening to the experience in them in their church and speaking. Very, very proud people. It reminded me very much of Jamaica.
Yeah, we need to make these connections. As one people. One of the things that we really want to do, and I've been saying to people, go to Africa Town, especially for those of you who are already in the United States. More difficult for us now to make the trot because a lot of us are not leaving Jamaica to go through the U.S. customs trap right now. But for those who are making it to the United States and those who are in the United States, go to Africa Town, go to Alabama, make it part of your vacation for those who are having their vacays in the United States. So the process is underway, and part of this includes, of course, the work that so many architects did, including yourself. What part, because you were placed third in the competition, what part of your design, if any, will be used in Africa Town?
Well, I'm not sure if the competition was really to generate ideas. It was a design ideas competition. So they're yet to accept or adopt portions of that. But Jason, as a private individual, has decided to play his role and to develop within his community what he, along the same line. But so I'm not aware of how far they are with the overall development. But they have enough information that they can use. But I guess maybe funding, I'm not sure how funding is at this time.
Yes.
But they have a seed that they can actually grow and develop incrementally.
I have a text from my friend Bert Samuels, and he says, we have also Africa Town in St. Mary. He's so very right. It's not called Africa Town. We have Africa, because where I am from and where Vereen Shepherd is from, as a matter of fact, it's interesting because Vereen is from Africa in St. Mary, and my home, where I'm born and grew, is like 2 minutes away. So we don't call it Africa because you go off the main to go to Africa. But we had a lot of relatives living in Africa. So and then we also have in St. Mary, Bongo Town. And when we hear these names come out, how important is it to look deeper in what that might mean? Because, Africa in St. Mary, this is it. We don't know it as anything else. It's always been Africa, and Bongo Town has been Bongo Town. So how important is it to go beyond just the name of a place to find out what is this place name saying to us?
Well, first of all, I believe that Jamaicans need to actually recognize that we are our own individual obstacles in accepting and appreciating our heritage. For example, I hear you talk about the La Bamba Bones.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
There are people, because of the connotation with it being a bad word, they wouldn't even open their minds to accept that this is a legitimate name for a place in Africa.
In South Africa. At the mountains.
So we have to actually question ourselves. And if you're not ready to do that, then it will be lost.
Yes, and we can't get away with just about 7 minutes to go in this segment of the program. I'm very, very pleased to welcome Chief Petty Officer Jason J. Lewis, and we're going to give him as much time as possible, Kamau, if you don't mind, because of the time that we have. Chief Jason Lewis, thank you so much for taking the time, for coming in, even though we have just 7 minutes. I really appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we have been talking about Africa Town. We've been talking about the work that you're doing. We've looked at the Clotilda. We've looked at the Bet, looked at the Africans who came in. We've talked a little bit about Kojo Lewis. Tell us a little bit about Kojo and your personal relationship with him.
Okay, so in discovering that I was from Africa Town and having grown up there, I left for 24 years and came back, and it was similar to when somebody young grows up in like Black Wall Street, and a lot of people are discovering it was called Black Wall Street and not just a spot in Oklahoma. Well, I found out there was Africa Town, and then I found out that it was a group of Lewises that discovered Africa Town, and not only discovered it and made it what it is, they were all married in together. So I'm not a direct descendant from Kazula, but one of my first cousins is one of the direct descendants, and all of our families in some way, shape, or form have been either in leadership and in this weird, strange way have been elevating the elevation of getting our people free in some way, shape, or form without even knowing that some of them was tied to the descendants of that ship. And so my connections with it was Joe Womack, the Crenshaws, the Lewises were all families that migrated down from North Alabama. And when they migrated down, they started working, sadly, at some of the industry that was built around Africa Town to help erase the story, and they settled down there.
And you said Kazula, and thank you for that, because we haven't used that name yet. But his name was Kazula, and tell us why we're calling him Kojo.
So Kojo is one of those honorifics. Sometimes, it's just like you go and you call your cousin Main or what's up, Bay. And many times that honorific was attached to him. But Kojo, if Baba was here, he would rather be called Kasula. Because when you read the book by Zora Neale Hurston, she wanted to make sure she highlighted that his name needed to be resounded the correct way, because he wanted it to be said over on the continent of Africa.
Well,
and if they said it in Africa, they would have recognized Kasula.
Yeah. And in 1865, when, slavery was finally abolished, emancipation, if you will, our ancestors who were kidnapped on the Clotilda, they made a decision. They wanted to go back to Africa. Tell us what happened there.
Well, just like with every situation with our ancestors that was brought here without their permission, right? Those colonizers didn't want to let them go. And even though you had places like Liberia that was taking Africans that was brought over to America, and as we know, a lot of our ancestors didn't end up in America. The majority of us ended up in South America and Brazil and some of the islands, right? Some of where you are. And so when they tried to go back, the colonizer tried to make them work their way back. And even with that, didn't pay them enough for the work and the labor that they was given. So Africa Town is a consolation prize. They only settled Africa Town in America because they couldn't get back to Africa. And that's the resounding message that I'm sitting on now. The project that I've been working with Brother K right now on the phone right now is Kambuya and I talk about what does it look like for us to have something that was untouched by the colonizer.
Okay,
and what would it have looked like if we went untouched for all those years?
Hold that thought for me. Let me take a quick break. Chief Lewis, so what the conversation you're having with our brother Kamau Kambuya is, so what would it look like if, the place was untouched by slavery? And then also the project. So talk to us about how that feeds into the project that you're currently working on.
Okay, well, beautifully, he gives it to us in a storybook to where we can see what does it look like for us to recreate the best of who we are in these spaces where we have to put up with living around these people, right? And I want to put it like that because we're in a perpetual state of trying to find identity in the architecture, the music, the food. And it always seems like we're carving out of space where, no, we actually made all these spaces value to begin with when we came here. It was just that certain immigrants that came from certain nations got a benefit over us, rather than us getting the benefit of building on our own. And so beautifully, we've come up with this design called Africa in America. It's a maroon space, purposely a maroon space, that the designs, the textures, and it will at least assimilate, since we have to, in the same way that Little China does. We know what Chinatown is when we say that, right?
Yes.
People can see it in their imagination. Well, how is it that we built America as Africans in many cases, but we don't have something that we can identify with called Africa Town? We know when we go to New Orleans, we in New Orleans, and the second line and then the music and the food comes from us and the natives. But why don't we have something specifically for Africans? And that's what we've done. And beautifully, this brother, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all straight up, he's given his time, his expertise. I am not a millionaire. And he's produced millionaire products for what we're doing down here because he believes in what's going on.
Mm-hmm. And that's, of course, is our brother Kamau Kambuya, who is online, who, as I said earlier, just before you came on, called us here at IRFM, wrote to us to say that there is Africa Town, and have you heard of the Clotilda? And from that moment on, the knowledge, the knowing has been phenomenal. So we're following this and the project that you're working on. So in terms of where it's at now, the project, what is needed? Where are you?
Well, right now we're raising funds to start developing a house that would be a error house. When you walk in, and it's basically you take a tour of the community, and people pay to come out and see that, the way they're coming out to pay for the tourism that's coming into the community. That's going to be the economic arm that fuels the larger project, and the project that is going to represent, this is what it looks like if you would have left the Maroons alone in and wherever they were, from the Haitian Revolution to Jamaica to the Dismal Swamp to when you go to places like Louisiana and you see spaces that people come and visit. But we want to own the process. We want to own the structure. We want to own the infrastructure. And we want to be able to say that Jamaicans, specifically Jamaicans, are tied to this, because people don't realize that that was a Jamaican that came over that inspired much of the religion behind the Haitian Revolution when they were meeting in alligator swamps. And then it were Jamaicans that came over that influenced the music of African Americans that holds up a lot of our music when rap music was first coming out. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know about the lawsuit that the Jamaicans had to do because the colonizers again tried to jump in and take their money with it. And so in a round turn, I think the ancestors are doing something beautiful with this. I get to hook up with this Jamaican brother and say, we're going to put this one in your face, but we need our dollars to do it. I have funds coming in through other foundations because it's Africa Town. And y'all know it's something that comes with, there's some attachments come with taking those funds. Yes. And so I purposely refused or kind of slow walked how I do this, because if it's going to be a maroon space, it has to be something that brings honor to what Brother Kambuhi has designed, but also bring honor to the ancestors.
And we're looking at a video of you there, just talking about Africa Town when you sent to us, for those who are watching on YouTube, on Facebook, so that I understand exactly what you're saying in terms of the funding and where you take the funding from, because it determines exactly what happens. As Bob Marley says, never let a politician grant you a favor, or they will want to control you forever.
Yes.
So then, for those who are listening who would like to donate to the project, how can they do so?
Okay, so there's two main locations. One, you can go to visualize everyone.
All right. So
.com and make it.
I'm going to interrupt you a bit because we lost you for a minute. You can go to?
Yeah, you can go to visualizeeveryoneThatserves.com and make a donation on our nonprofit web page. And the other link we're sending out directly through our website on Facebook, Instagram, and anything that has VETS 501c3 on it. But if you look up visualizeeveryoneThatserves.com, that's the space where you can go and make the donation.
All right. I'm so sorry we're out of time, but we'll definitely keep in touch with you. And, the short time that you've come on, such a great contribution. My brother Kamau, this is great work. We're going to keep in touch with you also on this. Please let us know what we can do, when and how. I think we plan to carry this program, the Africa Forum, into Alabama to broadcast live from Africa Town. I told you that's what we want to do, and I think we should do it the last time we spoke. But a final word from you, Kamau. Did we lose our brother Kamau? I think we just lost him, just at this very minute here.
Yeah.
Oh, you're there. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. All right, so we'll take a final word from you, my brother, Chief Petty Officer.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Much for inviting us, Kabu, and really appreciate it.
Yes.
I just want to say, before I leave, can you hear me?
Yes, hearing you. We're hearing you.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Hearing you, Kamau.
We can hear you.
Jamaica has actually made a major contribution, as usual, to the world. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We're hearing you, but you're breaking up.
Yes.
But, go ahead.
Emancipation Park is is actually the first contemporary architectural project that showcases Adinkra symbols outside of Africa. In Jamaica, in Emancipation Park.
Right.
In New York, there was a project done by the UN, the Slavery Memorial Monument, that was used after Emancipation Park was built. So Jamaica has pride of place in being the first country to actually showcase African Adinkra symbols in architecture, in modern architecture. That, and if you Google it, you'll see.
We'll see.
So we're doing work in Africa.
That was your work, wasn't it? Come on, wasn't that your work?
A continuation of that contribution to the world.
And Kamal has been, he's very modest, but he's been involved, as we said earlier, in so much of the work that you see ongoing here in Jamaica.
Not sure if you heard me.
Yes, heard you loud and clear, my brother. Thank you so much, Kamal. Thank you so much. I'll give you a final word, Chief Lewis.
Support what our people are doing anywhere globally. The thing that I'm finding out that we need to do, you're doing it on IRE. We're having a conversation that we should be having globally. So I'm glad in France, in Paris, in Jamaica, in Haiti, in the Congo, in spaces in America, in Brazil, we have to purposely have conversations with each other, because I think we assume because so much history is behind this, something's happening. There's not as much happening as we think is happening with those of us that's really going to put our back.
The Africa Forum this morning. Looking forward to speaking with my sister, Dr. Amina Blackwood Meeks. And a little bit about my sister, Dr. Amina Blackwood Meeks. She holds a PhD in cultural studies. She's a founder, artistic director of Ntukuma, the Storytelling Foundation of Jamaica. She's an award-winning writer, actress, storyteller. Dr. Blackwood Meeks weaves tales from the loom of her practical knowledge of the Caribbean. Her life skills as mother, grandmother, educator, communication specialist, political scientist, social and cultural policy researcher, analyst, and farmer. And when she comes on, she's going to tell me that she don't know who we're talking about. Now, her stories cover a range of issues affecting gender, the environment, children, and the direction of human development. Amina delivers confidently bilingual in English and Jamaican. She has traveled with her special friends Anansi, Miss Lady, and Little Miss Jingbang to storytelling festivals and a host of speaking engagements across the Caribbean, Africa, Europe, and North America. Standing by to speak with Amina, because Amina has now writing children's books, and they're doing pretty well. Also now supplemental reading from the University of, by the Jamaica Ministry of Education, which of course include the highest levels. So it's supplemental reading for our children. And we want to talk to her this morning about that. That's what we're talking about, Amina's writings. And she has been posting on social media too about some of what she's doing with the books, the children books. So we're standing by to speak with Dr. Amina Blackwood Meeks coming up in a minute. Let me tell you. Okay, do we have Amina? Do we have Amina online? No. I'm not seeing you, but I might be hearing you. No? Okay, no. So not yet. Dr. Amina Blackwood Meeks, dial in. You know, Amina has a way to come in, and probably I wonder if she's expecting to come in that way. All right, so Dr. Amina Blackwood Meeks was standing by for her. In the meantime, I know that there is something that I should... Yeah, my brother Bert Samuels, I'm seeing you. B, do me a favor now. You send me a voice note, text it, because I'm not going to be able to listen to the voice note. Yeah, Fine Efun Baladi, my sister who is in South Carolina. Good morning, my sister. How you doing? Thank you. Also, my sister who is listening in, this is my big sister now, listening from Tunisia. She says, I understand that the Tunisia team is very young and inexperienced, but at least they will gain some valuable experience in World Cup football. And she said, I thought Roger's surname was Asphalt. Yes, because we call him Roger Asphalt and him call himself Concrete Asphalt. But when we interview him on radio, him give him name Roger Asphalt. And so that is that. All right. K. Azikwe, my brother. He says, Grand Rising Kabu, and to you, to my brother. He says, it is most distasteful what FIFA did to IT. That alone prevent me from actually enjoying the matches. I know, my brother, I know. I'm feeling the very same way. And Busy Campbell, busy, my brother, how you doing? He says, morning, sister, and I must say I believe there is so much corruption in the world of football. It is unbelievable, but time alone will tell. The Creator not sleeping. One love and respect. Yes, my brother. And Andrew Lumsden says, good morning. Okay, given that Haiti are the only Caribbean representatives in the World Cup, it is disappointing how few flags there are on cars. To be honest, I haven't seen one. The way you do it, Curacao, I agree with you. Curacao. All right. I'm hearing good morning. Where am I hearing the good morning from? Hello. Next week, JABEM, Jamaica Beach Environment Movement, in the courts, Monday, June 15, St. Anne's Bay Parish Court. And this is for the Miami Bay prescriptive rights case. That continues. Thursday, June 18. St. Anne's Bay Parish Court. The judge is scheduled to rule on more opening days to the public to Little Duns River. And this is for the Little Duns River prescriptive rights case. So that's Thursday, June 18. You know, I think it's a very important case. Thursday, June 8. Well, all of them are important. But remember, there's a fight for access to Little Duns River. We have ostensibly been locked out of Little Duns River. It's open on some days and not on some days. And there is a fight for Little Duns River. I mean, there is a serious fight for Little Duns River. So Thursday, June 18, St. Anne's Bay Parish Court. This is where we should be hearing from the judge on more opening days for Little Duns River. All right. And then Friday, June 19, Portland Parish Court, Port Antonio, the trial for the customary rights to the Blue Lagoon begins. I know that we are seeing a lot of articles and editorials about access to the Blue Lagoon. And they're making the people of Jamaica out to be liars about whether or not there is access to the Blue Lagoon. The Blue Lagoon situation is not about being able to go there one day. The Blue Lagoon is a critical point of liberation, and when we're talking about access to spaces, because the Blue Lagoon was initially open to the public, and there was a true road that led to the Blue Lagoon, a parish council road that has been blocked off. So when they say you have access to the Blue Lagoon, access how? Because people have to be going through a private property to get to the Blue Lagoon. So first of all, open the road, the parish council road that you have blocked off to the Blue Lagoon. And there's disingenuous journalism, you know. Let me tell you something about journalism. Don't think that journalism is an objective profession, you know. Journalists are not objective. There's no such thing as objective journalism. It is not possible. Let me tell you why it's not possible. Objectivity is not possible in journalism because, first of all, the journalists come from somewhere. Whether you come from America, Jamaica, Portland, Bacawal, Dongle, or Italy, or the Riviera in Portland. And there is a Riviera in Portland. Remember that. There is a Riviera in Portland. And for those of us who have been going to the Blue Lagoon for many, 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 many moons from we born till now, we know the Riviera. Because when you enter the Blue Lagoon and you're taken on the boats on the sea, you can see the Riviera. So journalism comes from somewhere. So you are impacted by where you come from, your environment. You're impacted by how you grew up, your religion, your emotions, your thinking. So there is no objective journalism. Objectivity comes from reflection and reflexivity and being able to reflect. But no journalist now reflect around here. Remember, I'm tell you that. I'm tell you why no journalists now reflect. Because journalism is controlled by who own the space. Who owns the media? And that's how it comes. So you might write your story and it is quite okay. But who own it? Who own the Gleaner? Who own the Observer? Who own IRFM? Who own RJR? Who own TVJ? Who own Nationwide? That's our journalism there. It is the opinions of them who own it. Remember me tell you, there is no objectivity. So what you see in the newspapers over the last few days regarding Blue Lagoon, look again at the ownership of the media that is coming from. I have to take a break. Amina, where you going? Good morning, Dr. Amina Blackwood Meeks.
Good morning, my sister. How you doing?
I am well if you two are well.
I am well. Ubuntu.
Uno Ubuntu. Amina, we don't have a whole time because I was just, when me you talk, I was just about to go off track, because that's how we do our interviews, right?
Yes, because I want to get right into the Blue Lagoon and the media ownership, but that's another story.
That's another story. Please come back for that because we have just about 10 minutes up. Tell me about your books. Amina, congratulations. The work you have been doing is phenomenal across the world, global, local, and global. It's phenomenal. And when I saw the books, I'm here dancing. So tell me about the books, first of all. We're going to put them up on the screen.
Books, it's a wonderful collection of 4 books that we are calling Amina's Children. There are 2 children, a boy and a girl, Johnny and Makeda. And there you have it. And it's the adventures that they go through, beginning with Johnny discovering that he was just the most beautiful creature in the whole wide world. And that when he was made, Great Spirit told him, up you mighty race, you can accomplish what you will. So the books are grounded in identity. And then Don't Hurt That Bird is an account, a fictionalized account of Nanny up there in the Blue Mountains.
Wow.
Hello, We Need to Build a New Nation is about a little girl who imagines that she could be the next Prime Minister of Jamaica and all the things that she would do to build this new nation. And then Makeda discovers that every single bridge in Jamaica has historical significance, featuring, of course, the Bugwalk Gorge and how many Africans had to build that bridge. So the stories are rooted in our history, in things that children should know, but which we do not yet know. They have Caribbean references. So in one book, we talk about the Patu in Jamaica, but we also compare him to the Cicero parrot from St. Lucia. We talk about the green monkeys in Barbados. So although they're rooted in Jamaican identity, as you said, they have global appeal, and our Caribbean children should be able to relate to them. One of my favorite things about the books is that they encourage intergenerational bonding.
Yes.
Johnny always ask him grandfather something.
Mm-hmm.
And Makeda and our mother and our grandmother always talk about something.
Mm-hmm.
And each book has an activity segment.
Yes.
So you can do it in class with your teachers, you can do it by yourself, or you can do it at home with whoever is your family, because we know our families are diverse.
Yes.
The books are meant for the age group 8 to 11. But so that's upper primary school. but we also tested them on first formers.
And you need to test them on adults too, because
love the books.
Yes, I know.
Because of them to explore, like Cliff Twang, for example. This generation of first formers have never heard of Cliff Twang. Don't know what you mean when.
You just froze there. We lost you for a minute there, Amina. I hope that will get you back. It's a freezing situation. But the books are available, and then until Amina comes up back, the books are available, and they are supplementary reading. That is something that we must bear in mind also. There you go. You're back.
Yes. So I was saying that the books were meant for the age group 8 to 11. That's primary school.
Yes.
But we found that first formers and some second formers enjoy the books. And I was giving the example of You Cannot Cross It, Cliff Twang, which for me is such an important cultural moment in language, in weather, in everything. And one of the books actually gives some of the links to that whole episode and floods that our children are able to explore. So it's pick up in your hand, but you can go from the references to what's on the internet. And did you hear me say that the books also encourage intergenerational bonding?
Yes.
Right.
And how the conversations between the children in the book, and the adults, the grandparents and parents and so on.
Very important. When people say what's happening to our children, I say there's nothing wrong with them that fixing myself can't fix. We try to fix. So you have more time?
Yes, I have about 4 minutes. So no, I'm going to give it to you, Amina, so without interrupting, because I realize when I interrupt you, we have a situation where it freezes. So I'm going to give it to you, but also just remember to tell us there where we can get the books. And I want to know, what does it mean, supplemental readings in the schools?
Okay, that's very important. So the recommended or the prescribed readings, I don't think many people know that the Ministry of Education actually provides books free of cost to grades 1 to 4. I think when you get to grades 5 and 6, I could be wrong, there are some books you have to purchase for your PEP. The supplementary list now, the ministry doesn't purchase it, but it goes on your book list, and then you have to go into the bookstores to buy those books. So our books have been carried by Bryans, by Sangsters, by Kingston Bookshop, by a range of pharmacies, by Ligony, Drug and Garden, and those primary bookshops have outlets outside of Kingston, let me say that. And then in pharmacies, I won't take up the time talking about all the pharmacies, because there are numbers that you can call, and we deliver directly. When people say to me, I can't find your book anywhere, I say, have you checked Fimi Bookshop? And when they say, where is Fimi Bookshop? I say, anywhere you see my car. I always have the books in your car. Now, here is a challenge we want to throw out to all the foundations who have an interest in identity, have an interest in reading, and have an interest in preparing a different kind of Jamaican, a Jamaican who is centered, in who they are and who can wave the flag. Buy the books in bulk and distribute them to your schools. All the foundations work with a number of schools. We see them going to the schools for Read Across Jamaica Day, for example, and promoting other aspects of academic achievement. Buy the books in bulk.
I'm getting quite a few messages, and especially about can't cross it. Nobody can cross it. So a lot of laughs and so on, but people are really, really fascinated by it. You can't take a 2 minutes and read a little bit of it for me, please, from Out and Nobody Can Cross It book. What's the name of that book, by the way?
The name of that book is Makeda Loves Bridges. My word.
Fascinating.
So Makeda is writing a poem, and the poem begins, Makeda loves bridges, abandoned bridges no longer in use. Ancient bridges we cannot reproduce. Bridges with names that sound like a mystery. She loves bridges that take you through history. Oh Lord, Makeda loves bridges. Something special about the one in Manchonil, where people discovered that freedom was real. The news came at midnight and made them dance, broke out into brockings at every chance. Makeda loves bridges, where the river Muma resides, where enslaved Africans worked amidst the rising tides. Many perished, bringing the gravel and stone so we could cross from Kingston till the river done. Now why can't I find nobody can cross it? Oh no.
But look here, if you didn't say that, would I think it's part of the book?
Maybe, but that gives you an idea of how Makeda is exploring bridges. There is in fact an illustration of when the water come down in that river, that we reference how nobody could have crossed it. The river bank come down, and we couldn't cross over. Nobody can cross it. And then there is the link to where you can go to see what happened and what Cliff Twang had to say about that.
My sister.
All the books are multilingual.
Yes.
All the books slip from Jamaican into English, whatever that means. So there is no linguistic discrimination. I want to say this because since I announced that the books were approved by the ministry, many people have called me to say, but I can't get my books approved. It's a process, and I don't even like that phrase. But you know that my first children's books, That's a Good Idea, came out in 2022. This is 2026.
Yes.
So we've been walking the road.
Yes.
You call up the ministry and you find out where to submit the books. And I know because I worked in the ministry, but I followed the process.
Right.
So I'm telling you the process. Somebody will tell you, write a letter, put the books them in it and send it to X place. After you have sent it to X place, you're not going to be told who has the books. Because you know, say, if you're sending your book and your book is not approved and you find out is who your book did go to, that person could be in for some bad looks from you.
Right.
So I followed that process. I didn't know and I don't know who reviewed my books. They must say, I listen to me now and I laugh and I say, you can work it out. But I never tried to work it out. I waited and every so often I sent back to say, where are you in the process? Where are you?
I'm going to leave it right there. Amina, listen, great work. The work is phenomenal. The body of work, your body of work is phenomenal, so that, no questions arise. Thank you so much, my sister.
And we talk again. Bless you for doing this. Bless you. I'm going to go buy the book and all the foundations, supply all the libraries in your parish.
Yes.
And all the schools that you work with the books. Bless you, sister.
Give thanks. Amina Blackwood Meeks, as she said, uno go buy the books. And we're standing by for the Supreme Ventures draw. Listen up, top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4. Hot pick and cash for early bird draws coming up. We're still seeing Amina, and that's how I laugh. All right. So we're standing by for the cash pot draws. Time on area from is 8:30. And
Ansa ni yabewo busunyu kukuduru fo amana baba ye mema sem no ne wodo so ntim jakari akonya Ira FM so ye she running Africa yen ya krono.
We're back with you inside of the Africa Forum. 20 now before 9 o'clock. We've got a treat for you in studio, but just before we... last week we started when we were going out. We told you about a viral stress relief doll trending on Chinese social media and how distressing that was. So there is a stress relief doll coming out of China, and this is on China's social media, right? That people are just abusing online, and they say it is for stress relief. So the abuse is awful. It's painful to watch. You can Google it and watch. If you're on YouTube with us and Facebook and Instagram, you're probably seeing the dolls now on the screen. But since that time, there's been a whole lot of discussion about it. There is a story online that says in Natasha dolls, they're called Natasha dolls, that Hong Kong advocates are decrying dehumanizing black baby stress relief toy that is trending in China. China's social media is heavily monitored. It is streamlined. For something like this to become a trend, then it was meant to be what exactly it is turning out to be. So the doll resembles a small child. The most popular version is dark-skinned and features exaggerated racial features. Buyers, you literally see them online filming themselves, beating the dolls, stretching the dolls, boiling the dolls, stomping on the dolls, and any form of abuse that you can think of, the worst kind of abuse that they're doing to these black baby dolls. And we have a comment from a writer. Is created, marketed and sold in isolation of thought and purpose. The design, manufacturing and selling of a black baby doll to abuse at one's whims is a root of the existence of movements like Black Lives Matter. And we have also another comment where France, African-American writer, has said, by inviting people to take out their stresses on black bodies, we invite populations to abuse our black bodies at their whims, robbing us of our actual humanity. While this is a game to others, black people are experiencing widespread global abuse, which is a result of portrayals of us in such degrading ways. We have not heard much from China itself, but another African-American entrepreneur, advocate, and long-term Hong Kong resident has said that there seems to be an endless fascination with black hair, black skin, black lips, black bodies, and black culture. Yet people are shocked when we speak up. This is egregious, insidious, and it comes on the back of the videos that we see coming out of Africa. Because we talk about China and Africa, we're going to have to call out racism without apology. We're going to have to call out racism without fear or favor. And we have to call it out wherever it is. In China, in Africa, we see videos of black children being abused. And there is an entire market on the web, on the internet, on the social media for the literal, this is not dolls now, we're talking about the literal abuse of black children, young black children. We discussed that here when it happened, when it was trending also. We talk about China and Africa and the way that in Ghana, for example, where where ownership is given to land spaces, to land masses, to rivers, to waterways, to mines, and so on, where black people are losing access to Mr. Wisdom, sorry. Mr. Wisdom. This is our engineer, Mr. Wisdom. Come right here, come tell me what you're saying to me on the microphone, Mr. Wisdom. I know you can't, but anyway, I'll see you later. But this is really crazy. Listen, I don't know how much more we can take, but we must not stop talking. We must not stop calling out racism wherever we see it. And we must also hold governments and authorities responsible when we see things like these and when we have diplomatic relations, economic relations, and other kind of relations. We must hold China responsible in all the spaces where China is. What do we mean by holding responsible? We can do it through diplomatic means. We can do it through journalism. We can do it through conversations. But we have to raise these issues. This is racism at its highest. We have accounts in Jamaica of workers in establishments who are abused. This is another situation. So it's not an isolated incident. There is a kind of insidious racism coming out of China against continental Africans, diasporic Africans, black people wherever we are, that we're going to have to face. Whether we want to face it, yes or no. The time is coming when we're going to have to face it. And I don't know you can watch this and not face it.
Get more miles with the Ruby's Ultratech. Fuel the difference for peak performance and maximum savings. Drive more and save more. The time by Ruby's Ultratech is
now 8:46, and we've got a treat for you in the house. Standing by for the hard way, Dale Haslam, Bernard Fagan, Leon Duncan, Shanae Nicholson. For the Hard Way is a talented Jamaican ensemble that brings together decades of musical experience, education, and passion. The group features bassist, I'm going to let them introduce themselves, right? They're in the house. Collectively, the members have performed and recorded with renowned artists, including Jimmy Cliff. They have performed and recorded with Jimmy Cliff, with Ernie Ranglin, Uncle Ernie, with Monty Alexander, with Barrington Levy, with Queen Africa, with Tony Rebel, Justin Hines, and that's just to name a few. Their careers have taken them from classrooms and recording studios to cruise ships and international stages. And if my memory and my eyes serve me right, I think one of them was performing until late last night. I'm just saying. So I'm going to go to them for the hard way. Dale, how you doing, my brother? Good. Dale is pretty low, even though we...
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, brilliant. I see you. Wow, look at that. Look at that. No, listen. If you're not watching this online, we're online. And if you're listening, fine. Continue to listen on the 107s. But please to turn on a TV or computer or phones to just check out what's happening in the studio. So Dale, I'm going to throw it to you so you go through and introduce the group. I'm very, very pleased to have you in studio. It's going to be an acoustic session for a little while, for over an hour. We're doing an acoustic session. Go ahead, Dale, introduce the group.
Yeah, man. My name is Dale Aslam, bass guitarist. But, I'm a multi-instrumentalist, a music teacher. Travel the world with many great artists.
Can I just say, I'm sorry to interrupt. For me, it's very low. So I'm just saying this for engineers.
You hear me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. It's pretty low, and there's a hum. But there's a hum on the microphone, and it's also pretty low. But and that's from my end. So I'm not quite sure if this is what's happening generally. But this is the situation. But go ahead, Dale.
Yeah, I'm Dale Aslam, music teacher, bass guitarist who have traveled all over the world with many great artists like Muta Baruka, Jimmy Cliff, Mr. Ernie Ranglin, just to name a few. And we have Bernard Fagan, we know him as Jigsy.
All right, pass the mic.
Yes.
Jigsy?
Yes.
Jigsy, before you introduce yourself, you know perform last night in Lade?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Come in, see you, come and watch your whole performance.
I do a TikTok live every evening. Mostly.
I saw you. I was watching. All right, but go ahead.
So my name is Bernard Fagan. Everybody call me Jigsy. Everybody know me from Ocean's 11 and Mongoose in Ochoa's vicinity. Yeah?
Yes.
And I'm a bassist and also a guitarist. So most of my time is between both of those instruments.
Okay.
So during my touring period, I was bass player for Justin Hines and the Dominoes. I also work with Papa Kervin in Germany.
Yes.
Actually, when I teamed up with Papa Kervin, that's when we did that song, Call Angola. I'm the bass player for Call Angola.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah, so
all right.
I've been around.
I know.
Currently, I'm working on the cruise ship. I'm doing my acoustic singing job on the cruise ship. That's what I'm doing right now.
Brilliant.
So I'm just here now for some vacation time.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm happy that you could make it to the studio.
I'm quite grateful.
All right. Pass the mic. So who we're passing the mic to?
Shanae Nicholson.
Yeah. Go ahead, Shanae.
Good day. My name is Shanae Carlson. I am a vocal major.
Mm-hmm.
I am now a student at the Edna College pursuing.
I know Shanae is very, very low. Can I just say that? I know she is a student at the Edna Manley College pursuing
my singing career.
Okay. Thank you, Shanae. We look forward to hearing you today. All right. Who are we passing the mic to?
Leon Duncan.
All right, Leon.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Leon Duncan. People call me Mandela. I'm a bass player.
And look on the bass guitar. Goodness gracious me. Peter, you can't just make us see the whole guitar. Yes, man, we only see them things in other movies. Wow. We're happy to see this in the studio this morning. Yes.
So yeah, I play the electric bass. I play the upright bass, guitar, keyboards. I teach at Alpha part-time and on the North Coast. And I've played with Ernest Ranglin. I toured with Monty Alexander.
Very low.
Anika Mosey.
Yeah.
Africa and a few other people. And it's a pleasure to be here this morning.
We're very happy to have you with us. So you call that the standing bass guitar? Upright bass guitar? Upright. Look here, the upright. Look here, we're going to learn to play the upright bass guitar this morning. Remember me tell you. All right. So it's over to you. Over to you now, right? That's a group?
Yeah, man, we're going to start.
All right, so please to start. And I hope the microphones are okay because you're pretty low on this side. But I'm throwing it over to For the Hard Way. Acoustic session. The way, listen, you should see the responses are coming in from just across the world, relating especially to the upright bass, we tell you. But we're loving it. We're really loving it. Throwing it back to you, Dale. I'm not quite sure what you're going to do now. I think I have an idea, but I don't know. But I'm throwing it back. You tell me. Tell me.
Do your favorite song.
He's going to do my favorite song. And I tell you something. And it really is in the top 5 favorite. It's probably number 2 of all favorite songs. It is not a lie. So Dale, go ahead and do one of my most favorite songs, number 2.
I'd have to question, but I'll be reminded every day. I want that type of love that makes me smile so hard that my cheeks hurt. And even on days that I'm hurting, I can express myself and feel better because you listened. I want that type of love where building together doesn't feel like a chore, but rather something that comes naturally. I want that type of love that's not forced. I want love that leaps when it feels like it and keeps pacing. I want that love that makes you feel okay even when you are far away. I want that love where I don't feel the need to be someone else. I want that love that checks upon me and helps me stay present on days when my brain is wandering. I want that love that feels like a Bible story, unraveling, where after all the prayers, the blessings just keep on coming from generation to generation. And no matter the circumstances, the peace we feel is beyond explanation. That love I want. That love I have. So that was how I want to be loved. And then last but not least, because I would like to do just one more by request, and that would be I love you. When I say I love you, it's not just for now. It's for everything to come and what has been there before. When I say...
We're loving it. For the Hard Way, Dale Haslam, Bernard Fagan, Leon Duncan, Shanae Nicholson. Look here, listen, thank you so much. Dale, thank you so much. Will you come back, especially with the upright guitar? Hold on. Say that again.
Yes, we will. Yes.
Please come back. I'm so sorry. The time just run gone like I don't even know where it went. Did you even do 3 songs good?
Hardly.
The time just run. Listen, man, it's beautiful. We loved it. Thank you so much. I'll take a quick final word from you, Dale, just to say where we can find you, who you are, and how you can be booked.
Well, we are all from Ocherus, and we are all from different generations. Shanae is the youngest. She was my student from Steertown.
Yes.
And I believe in the children that the children are our future. So I give them any opportunity. You know, and we are right in Ocherus here. Jigsy, Mandela, we all play for different people, but we can be booked very easily.
And as you talk about student, I'm going to come back to the booking. You actually teach the guitar, right?
Yeah, I teach guitar, piano, bass, drums, you know, because I'm a school teacher, so, you know, we were trained at Edna Money to do that.
Yes, okay.
And Shanae outshines in her year in 2023, Top Jamaica.
Shanae, beautiful, brilliant Shanae. I mean, I just look forward to saying that I knew her. I have the tape. She was in the studio.
Yeah.
You know, thank you so much. Do you know this program was the very first program to interview Lauryn Hill when she was part of the Fugees, and we almost got fired for it. We got suspended for it. Yeah. But here we are. Anyway, that's another story. Yeah, man, we'll tell you about that later on. But in terms of the upright guitar, how can we learn to play that?
Well, like any other instrument, first you need to get one.
I wish I could find one of them something there.
You need to find one. They're pretty difficult to find in Jamaica, but
yes,
carefully you'll find them.
So Mandela, this is the only one you have?
This is Mr. Herbie Miller's bass.
Herbie Miller. Herbie, good morning, sir. Thank you for letting me your bass, sir.
I brought mine from Europe 6 years ago, but the Jamaican weather messed it up.
Okay.
So I've been using Mr. Miller's bass.
Mr. Miller, your bass look good. We love it. You have to come back. I know you're going to come back very soon because, you know, this is something that's brilliant. All right, so back to you, Dale. For bookings?
Yeah, we're in Ocherus, and you can reach us at 374-4023.
Okay.
But any type of function, we have all the different genres ready to be played.
Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant. We look forward to that. Shanae, I'm going to give you a quick last word, my darling. You are brilliant, beautiful. We just love the singing, love the vibe, love the whole look. You went from Steertown to Edna, and you're now pursuing your career. Where do you see this going? What's your plan? Is it, and because I mentioned Lauryn Hill, you know.
Yes. Well,
what's the ultimate?
I see this going internationally.
Yes, me too.
You know, traveling, singing, because, you know, it's your passion. When you do your passion, you don't work a day in your life.
Right.
So,
work is love made visible. And we're loving it. And you're singing so many of the older songs too.
Yes.
That's quite something. Thank you so much, my sister. You're doing pretty well. You're doing very, very well.
Thank you.
And I give it to Jigsy. Jigs, pass the mic. Jigsy, I know you must be very tired. Because as I said, I watched you perform last night. All right, so you're going back to work shortly. You're going off, leaving Jamaica shortly?
Yes, I'll be going back shortly. I'll be going back in September. I have a little bit of time, so I'm sharing it with my people, you know.
We're going to miss you.
In the evenings, what I try to do is, you know, when you come home from work in the evening.
Yes.
And you relax yourself when you have some dinner and you're in the bedroom.
Yes.
You just go to your TikTok and find me at Jigsy the musician.
Jigsy the musician.
/ singer. Wherever you're at in your room, if you're in your bedroom, your dining room, wherever you're at, you can get me right there.
Jigsy
the musician / singer.
Give
TikTok.
thanks. Give
you know
thanks.
What I mean?
Give thanks.
I'm
give
right
thanks.
There. And you know what I want to say,
Yes.
as a Jamaican?
Yes.
Because I have to say this, because a couple of days ago I was passing out by Margaritaville there, and I was driving, and trust me, I just slowed down, and this car just flew around me, and eventually when I look at the potholes, and I said, oh my God. Then I remember the last time I came here on ship with some of my guests, and they were walking with me, and I was so ashamed when they said to me, Jigsy, what is happening with your road, man? This is Jamaica, this is Ocherus, this is the tourism resort, man. What is wrong with your road? You know, and I had to do a post about it.
Yeah.
And I did that post, and when I woke up this morning, I see that post with almost 10,000 views.
Wow.
And 200 odd comments.
Wow.
People complaining.
It is as bad as you say it is, and even worse, and you can imagine outside of Ochi. We're totally out of time. Yes, go ahead.
I'm hoping that when I come back, I'll see some changes. That's
Me
what
too.
I'm hoping.
I want to thank you so much, Jigsy, for raising that. It needs raising. All right, let me give you a minute to just go out with something, but not for too long, maybe 2 minutes of it. I nearly asked you for the sound of silence, but make it go long. And I know you already have something there, not the sound of silence. So do something, and we're out of here. Thank you so much for the hard way. Thank you. Just a quick little thing, just to get out of here. We're back with you, and so lots of questions for the number for the music teacher. So if the music teacher, Dale, are you available for teaching, for public teaching, for private teaching? I know you're a teacher in the system, the education system. Dale, did you leave, Dale? Dale, can we ask him? I know I'm not back yet. I'm so sorry to send Peter out, but we're working with a skeletal team. And so if Peter won't go out, so I gotta ask Dale if I'm number. It means that I am off screen. So I don't know if you're seeing me, but I'm not seeing you. Thank you so much for joining us inside of the Africa Forum. This is Running Africa, and we're going through until 10 o'clock. DJ Collision will be in for the Big A. Oh, he's outside. So we're just saying we'll be right back on the screen there. So I don't know if it's because we're sending out. So, my bad. Dale, let me know if, you're available, because quite a few questions for a number for the music teacher. Now, if the music teacher is available for private lessons, then I'll definitely, have that number for you. Also, thank you to my friend in the Netherlands. Right? The Netherlands, which I hear will win the World Cup, which nothing can go so. All this says, but easy out here talking about the upright guitar. All this, you would be the one to catch that, The upright guitar. She says, easy calling a bass an upright guitar. Full joy in your program, my sister friend. Yes, darling, thank you so much. So it's an upright bass. I'm on here talking about the upright guitar. And we thank you all this. Listen, can I just say there are so many messages coming in, and I'm trying to grab them as they come in. Dale, is there a number? Do you have a number? Are you available for private teaching? Come on here so I can give you the number. So Dale is coming right around here, so, cause you don't know how we work inside us, everybody mic. So it's my microphone, and it's Dale Michelle. Go ahead, Dale.
All right. Dale, I am available for private lessons.
Don't you so tall, Ben?
374-4023.
All right.
I teach a lot of kids. 374-4023.
All right. And Dale teach a lot of kids.
I'm a nice.
Yeah, you too. You go to church now?
Yeah.
Well, pray for me. Yeah, man. Okay, so Dale is heading out to church. The entire team going to group going to church?
No, Shania going to a different church.
Shania go a different church, and Jigsy go sleep. Yeah. Because Mr. Jigsy performed last night. Okay. Yeah. All right. So you got that number. Dale is a music teacher, and he's a very good one. They're talking about a guitarist who plays with Ernie Ranglin. You can't get better than that. Ernie Ranglin is arguably one of the best guitarists. He's in the top 5 in the very same group that Jimi Hendrix is in. So in the next segment of the program, we have some special guests in studio. Some tiny ones. All right, from the Minimis St. Mary Heritage Queen competition. And they're just passing by. No. They're fully booked. They were booked to be on this program. And they're in studio right now, with their parents and their teachers and their guidance counselor. And when we say Minimis St. Mary, we mean Minimis St. Mary, the director, guidance counselor of Retreat School, is it primary or Retreat High? Mr. Warren White is in. The contestants are in, and they are really Minimis. Look at the little bit of what time they wake up to get here so early. They're very tiny, Peter. What time they wake up? No. I'm very happy to have them in studio. Look at them. Oh, they're beautiful. Listen, so we're going to be hearing from Athena White, who is a parish national queen for St. Mary. Chardonnay Forbes, representing Gale Town Town Center Grocery and Goshen Primary. Shekane Cole represented Elite Beauty Salon and Port Maria Primary. Lanisha White representing Shanet's Class of Fashion and Liberty Learning. You know, so I'm going to introduce themselves. Watch them. No, listen, I cannot bother with them. You know, you want to see all them over there waving. Look at that. Give them the mic. Look at that. Brilliant. Brilliant. Let me have them introduce themselves. Let us start with, are you starting in the middle? All right, go ahead, because you're going to pass the mic down and then pass it back up. Please introduce your beautiful, gorgeous, pretty, bright-eyed selves. Go ahead.
Jamaica, my name is Athena White. I am 9 years old and I am representing the beautiful parish of St. Mary.
All right. Pass the mic.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Paula Collins, and I am representing the beautiful community of St. Mary.
Wow.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tatiana Najir. I am 9 years old. I am representing the beautiful community of St. Mary.
Wow.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lanessa White. I am 12 years old. I am representing the beautiful parish of St. Mary.
Wow. I can't stop saying wow. Wow.
Good morning, IFM listeners, families and friends, teachers as well. A pleasant morning to you all. My name is Gianna Forrest. I am 10 years old. And I am representing the one and only St. Mary.
There you go. Brilliant.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chardonnay Rashika Forbes. I am 9 years old.
Yes, Chardonnay, and you're also representing St. Mary. All right, somebody's saying something. So she's distracted. All right, so who else do we have?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ikea Plunkett. I am 11 years old, and I am representing the beautiful parish of St. Mary.
Brilliant, Chardonnay. So I'm going to take you back to Chardonnay. Finish what you were saying, Chardonnay. Go ahead.
And I represent the beautiful community of Gale. I thank you.
Okay, because you were changing to Gail because Gail is also in St. Mary. My sister, she's not going to forgive herself for not saying it, you know, that's why we went back to her. Beautiful. You're all beautiful, brave, bright, and wide-eyed, and thank you so much for coming in. By the way, so who has a microphone now? Go ahead.
Good morning to all the listeners. I am Najela Amani Osborne. I am 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I am a social skill warden in my class. Thank you.
Look at that. Yes, brilliant.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Shantaniqua Brown. I am 11 years old, and I am representing the beautiful parish of St. Mary.
Wow, beautiful.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Shakwane Cole. I am 10 years old, and I am representing the beautiful parish of St. Mary.
Listen, they are beautiful. The parish beautiful, and they are beautiful. Mini Miss St. Mary Heritage Queens in the house. And also, if you notice, someone is wearing a crown, so we'll come back to her shortly. But so who do we have with the microphone? Introduce yourself with the microphone now.
Good morning, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I am Donique Smith-White, one of the directors of the Minimis St. Mary Heritage Queen. And we are here with the beautiful ladies, the wonderful ladies. They're so amazing, little bit talented and gifted, and very culturally aware.
Wow.
So we want that to go out. And they are so confident. We can't afford to miss that.
It's true. And you come here to take on a job because you sound like a broadcaster, radio announcer, TV announcer mixed up in one. All right, well, thank you. Great work. And who's standing beside you?
Okay, good morning. I'm Warren White. I'm one of the directors of the Minimi St. Mary Heritage Queen.
Yes.
And indeed, the young ladies are very talented, beautiful, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here to give my service, because it's all volunteerism.
Yes.
And we're so happy to be here this morning. Thank you.
All right. So, tell me, Miss White, about you have the microphone. Tell me a little bit about the competition.
All right. So the competition is a franchise from Damien Duckett's production, where it started here in St. Anne. But then Mr. Duckett decided that he's going far and wide with it.
Yes.
And he sent it out into the other parts of Jamaica. So St. Mary had decided to be a part of SAME, and we started out last year. That was the first time we had this competition where it is national.
Yes.
And when we went there, St. Mary came out on top whoppingly. I tell you, these girls,
yes,
not even these girls, but
yeah,
you know, Atina went out there with a little age and a little voice, and I tell you, she's shelled down the entire parish.
And listen, I've heard about her, you know. For
you.
example, I had Mr. David Wilson from Renewable Village call me long time and tell me, said, listen, you have to meet this young lady. I met her, and then we call everywhere for find her, and then we never find her. But anyway, we have her, Athena. Morning again, Athena. Listen, Athena, she's coming up shortly. Okay, great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Right. Listen, tell me about the competition last year. How difficult or challenging was it? Was it difficult at all?
No, miss, but it was very, very exciting. We went on a glass bottom boat road. A glass bottom boat sea ride.
Okay. And that was the thing you remember more than anything else, right?
Yes, miss.
All right. And Heritage, tell me now about what did you do? What were some of the things that you had to do to win this competition?
Well, we had to do a parish project. My parish project was at the Ritchie Branch Library. I did a reading corner because most of the children do not like to read in the boring spaces. So I carried a mat, cushions, and some other things so it can be comfortable for them.
Okay, brilliant. That is really good. Is the reading corner still there?
Yes, miss.
Okay, and that is your doing. That is very innovative. All right, and did you have to do any talent, anything, poetry, song, performances?
Yes, miss. For my talent piece, I did a dub poem.
You remember it?
Yes,
You
miss.
can do it for me now? Or you never come prepared to do it? You didn't come. All right, do it for me, man. All right, there you go.
Mr. Guys. One ipa pasa. Unana ear say St. Thomas finally get KFC. Mid-year, St. Thomas finally reach pan the map. But that no bother we, cause St. Mary are the big deal.
That is quite something. Listen, it's okay. Thank you so much. That's brilliant. I can see why you win. Brilliant and confident. Miss White, that was quite something.
I tell you, it took the stage, it took the crowd.
Yes.
Everybody was just out and going for Athena. Some people didn't even remember that they are from other parishes.
Yes, St. Thomas
took over St. Mary like Athena belongs to
Let me ask you a question, Miss White. St. Thomas get KFC, if it's true?
Yes.
Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, beautiful. We love that. All right, so let me just find out from the other young ones what their projects, do they know what their projects are yet? You can tell me what your projects are?
No, we have
not
just
yet
started. We are in the first phase of the competition, and so they are in training because the event is actually July 5th.
All right, so July 5, where?
It's going to be at the Anglican Church Hall in Port Maria.
Okay.
That's where we're having it.
What time?
It starts at 6 p.m. sharp.
So all of we must make sure so we reach in time.
Everybody needs to be there. Everybody right across.
Is it free for entry or do we have to pay to go in?
No, it's not free. It's a paid event.
It's a paid event?
$1,500 for adults.
Right.
And $1,000 for children.
Okay.
And we ask that you come out and support it.
And
so the children are looking forward for same.
And that is, once again, it's July 3.
5th.
Sorry, July 5. July 5
Yes.
at the Anglican Church Hall in St. Mary, in Port Maria.
Right.
Right. And and once again, entry fee is 1,000.
1,000 pre-sold
Right.
for children and 1,500 pre-sold for adults.
All right. So let me just go down the line now and ask them what they're looking forward to most in the competition. What are you looking forward to most? Anyone want to take that quickly?
I'm looking for the enjoyment of this competition.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anybody else want to say what they're looking forward to? All right, what you're enjoying most. Okay, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
I am looking forward to take the crown for Mini Miss St. Mary Heritage Queen 2026.
All right, see there. What you looking forward to most?
I am looking
Brilliant.
forward to winning this
All right.
competition.
See, let me take back the question, because listen.
I am looking forward
Yes.
to go to the finals.
There you go. All right.
I'm looking forward to actually understand our culture.
Okay. All right.
I am looking forward to winning and to making it to finals and being our next Miss World.
Look at that. All right.
I'm looking forward to winning this competition and taking the crown from Athena.
Athena! It's not like Athena.
I'm looking forward to be in the top 3 Mini Miss St. Mary Heritage Queen.
Brilliant, brilliant. Yes. We're finished? Okay. And where in St. Mary are you from?
I'm from Retreat. St.
Okay.
Mary.
Are you all from Retreat area or different places in St. Mary? All right. Tell me where you're from.
I'm from Stewart Town.
Okay.
I'm from Wellington.
Mm-hmm. Where's Wellington?
In Penn. In Top Penn.
In Top Penn, okay.
I'm from Stewart Town.
Stewart Town, right?
I am from Retreat Content.
Okay.
I am from Crescent.
Crescent in St. Mary. That is near to Hampstead? No? Jackson?
Miss.
Is it near to Jackson?
No, miss.
Okay, all right.
It's close to Orocabessa.
Orocabessa, okay.
I am from the beautiful community of Broadgate.
Okay, yeah, but that's further up, okay. Broadgate is like near to Anota Bay, right? Junction that way?
Yes, miss.
Okay, brilliant, sister.
I am from Port Maria.
Port Maria. All
I'm
right.
from Castle Garden Villa Road.
Okay, so what a wide representation of St. Mary. Look here, I wish you all the best, and I hope that you do come back in
I'm
the studio.
from Gale.
Okay.
You can't miss them. You can't miss
No,
them.
not at all. All right. So, thank you so much for coming in. Once again, just to remind our listeners that the competition, the final for the competition, because did they go through a process before getting to the finals? Before getting to this level, because they're looking forward to go to the finals.
So they would have participated, some of them would have participated in their own school cultural heritage queen or pageants at their school. Some of them would have been selected by their teachers. And some parents just decided that they want their children to be a part of SAME because there is so much exposure to the competition and the cultural awareness and just building them as individuals.
Okay,
so
brilliant.
that's where it all started.
Brilliant. Well, let me just have them go down the line again and tell me which school they attend and their favorite subject.
Wow.
Yes.
I am a proud representative of the Portsmouth Primary School, and my favorite subject is English.
Okay, beautiful.
I attend Maho Hill Primary and Infant School, and my favorite subject is mathematics.
There you go.
I am from Freehill Primary and Infant School, and my favorite subject is Integrated Studies.
Wow.
I attend the one and only Three Hills Primary School, and my favorite subject is mathematics.
All right.
I attend Liberty Learning Center, and my favorite subject is social studies. I I attend Free Hill Primary and Infant School, and I love mathematics.
I love that, yes.
I attend Liberty Learning Center, and my favorite subject is language arts.
I attend Retreat Primary School, and my favorite subject is language arts.
Ah, beautiful.
I attend Goshen Primary School, and my favorite subject is mathematics.
I attend United Learning Center Preparatory School, and my favorite subject is language arts.
There you go. Thank you so much. We're going to hear from you again, I'm sure, maybe right after the finals, right after July 3. I hope that you all can come back, but we definitely...
July 5th.
July 5th. Why am I saying July 3? July 5. I need to write it down, July 5. And I know some of the parents are in the house. Are all the parents there?
Yes, we have the parents with us as well.
Okay, thank you so much. What time did they get up this morning to be here at this time?
I believe some of them get up about 5 o'clock.
Wow.
Just to be on time.
Oh my.
Because they were nervous.
Anybody coming from then what about Broadgate? Broadgate was up from about 4 o'clock, man. But thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
I'm going to give you a final word, Miss White.
What we want to say out there is that we are inviting everyone across St. Mary and beyond to be a part of this competition. And as our ladies grow and glow, we ask that you will help them to be, better women of society. Because let me tell you something, they are indeed wonderful ladies. They learn quick and they are very much interested. And so we are inviting everybody to come out. Thanks to all our sponsors and future sponsors, because we are still seeking same. So we thank them so much in advance, because we know that this competition is going to be one with class, elegance, and character. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss White. Thank you, Mr. Warren. Mr. Warren White. Thank you to the parents who have come out. Thank you to you. Look at the wave them giving me. Look here, let me just give them back another wave there, because no alone can wave, continue a wave like that. I'm going to have to do it back. All right. Thank you so much. Have a safe journey back home.